I forgo. I forgo. Ah. Ah. Okay. So the reason why we don't have my model today is because why? What did I do? Is because I am using my phone to record stuff separately. So I can't, like, I don't know how it works. I don't know how it works. Wait, no, hang on. Is that how that works? I've never had to use my phone like this before, but I think it's just a much clearer video. Like the camera on this phone is really good. Okay. So today we are working on a couple of different things. You never knew I was into 40k. I've been into 40k since I was a kid. Well, I only really started to get back into 40k since streaming. Hang on. I need to catch up to stream. I've been looking at my station and not stream. But hi chat, how are you all doing? I woke up this morning and I chose pizza. So we had pizza breakfast. And I've been eating pizza all day because it's buy one get one free on Tuesdays. Lol. And that's always a good time. But how is everyone doing today? I need to focus. Focus. Okay. The real question is, where am I going to be painting? I guess I'll try and paint kind of... I want to try and paint about where this guy is. Because he's generally in the focus of where I'm going to be painting. So I should adjust this so much. Can I actually do that? I think I can. Yeah. Okay, cool. Right. So today, guys. Hi. Hi, everyone. Hi. 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 I need to go through chat and see who's because I can't remember. Hey, Punk. Hey, Ocean. Hi, Metal. Hey, Phantom. Why am I a heretic? Because being a heretic is based. Tataruku, hi, welcome to stream. I hope you have a lovely time in our community here. It's always nice to see first-time chatters. You're basing your Deathwing Terminators and then you'll be 100% be done. Hell yeah. Hi, Callus. Wow. Scuff the cat returns now. You spot Emperor's Children 30k. Yeah, these are some kitbashed. This is a kitbashed champion for my Emperor's Children squad. Then I've got the Tartaros Praetor here. Then back here we have some flawless blades I kitbashed because like I feel like you can get away with like. This one's kitbashed out of a Stormcast guy, which I think honestly fits the bill quite perfectly. And then the rest of these are just basic, the Possessed Marines with some Slaanesh bits put on. And they've all got swords. And then I've got the Mark 6 Praetor as well. So we're doing some fun stuff today. At least I hope you'll find it fun. Scuffcat, Eliana, yes, no, wah. Double shout out, lol. When do you see popular amongst your mods, lol? Yes. Did you burn that too? No, I got takeout, lol. They look way too uncorrupted. I mean, that Tartaros pattern 30k Terminators, lol. Isn't she a de facto? I'm one of the de facto Warhammer 40k VTubers. There aren't that many of us. There are some a lot bigger ones than me though. There's like 5 or 6 that I actually know of, which is really strange, honestly. There's like 5 or 6 like proper 40k VTubers. I am one of them, at least that I know of. Yeah. So Horus Heresy bits, yes, lots of Horus Heresy bits. You like the Dark Angel Praetor you've seen? I also like the Dark Angel Praetor. In fact, I have the Dark Angel Praetor, I'm just not painting them up. So, what I'm thinking today, chat, is... I think Space Marine 2 got a lot of big VTubers into... That's true, they did. There were some who got... Like, some of the Shoujo girls were kind of into 40k beforehand. And a couple of the like, it's not really their focus though. And there's a couple of Hololive that got really into 40K as well. So my plan today is, do you guys remember the old 2002 era fantasy champion of Slaanesh, where they had their whole black armor and then really bright pink kind of edging to that armor? So my plan is to try and get that sort of like almost black look with the really colorful edging. So this stream title, when it goes on the VOD, is probably going to have a title about edging, but you know, that's neither here nor there, okay, chat? It's just funny. It's just funny. Wow. Edging, AO edging. Creature painting, yes. Hey, Ruben. So I'm thinking, because I really want to drive that contrast up as far as I can go, we're going to start with Maso Black, the world's blackest black paint. Regardless of what Stuart Zemple likes to think, or Anish Kapoor thinks, this is actually the blackest black paint in the world. So I'm very curious to see how it turns out. So we're going to start. Okay. I'm going to make sure that this is blue, 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 blue. Okay, so we're going to start with the Maso Black, which is very cool. I don't know how to describe it, really, so I'm just going to show you how it works. So I'm going to start, I guess, just by airbrushing these guys. A little bit. A little bit. It's not going to be all I do, though. But I'm going to use airbrush to get these guys really nice and properly dark. And then we're going to try out a couple of different colors to see what works after we do a bit of dry brushing to get the edges out. Hi, Dino fan. Welcome, welcome. You have to continue painting your Necron kill team maybe on Thursday. Do it. Do it. Oh god, it's so thick. It's so thick, chat. I don't know what to think about this. It's very dark and thick. Okay, so that's about half a cap. That should hopefully get us the right level of darkness. Now, what I should have done before putting paint in the cap is, you know, I should have put a glove on, because I'm going to be holding miniatures without a glove now, and that's going to be really fucking horrendous, because this is, like, incredibly dark, and it's going to be really hard to wash off. Hang on. Let me see if I can put a glove on. Just painted those Stormcast from the new Warhammer series. Nice. Warhammer Heroes series tends to have some really good sculpts. I don't pay too much attention when it's Warhammer Age of Sigmar, though. I say this like I'm not about to start an Age of Sigmar army. Okay. I don't like that this brush, this paint cup just wants to keep moving. It's kind of annoying. Okay. Okay. I'm going to leave that there. And it's totally going to be fine. And not, you know what, no. I'm going to put that in between my legs and I'll hold it on with my thighs. Then I'm still scared that I'm going to spill the airbrush because that's going to be less than ideal. First time you painted. Did you have fun with that? Look. Look. Okay. I bought a bunch of gloves when I got an airbrush, and then I just completely forgot to use them. So I still have that first box of, like, nitrile gloves, or whatever it's called. And it just kind of works, okay? Don't at me. Just gonna move those out of the way. Well, I think we'll just start with this guy. I'm curious to see just how much darker he's gonna get. Okay. I hope that this is... I don't know how much... if this is actually coming through at all. I gotta be honest with you, chat. Actually, no, it does. Like, to my eye, it looks much darker. Like, significantly darker. But that's just to my eye. Like, I'm here. I don't know how it transmits across to you guys. Oh, don't tell me I've got a clog. It's too early in the stream to have airbrush problems. No! You were working fine! Oh, for fuck's sake. I hate it here, chat. Hard to tell when the paint is wet. That's true. Hi, Tartaros. It's gone from like new charcoal black to true black on your screen. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so I have a clog. So I think I know why this is. I think I know why this clog is. I was just finishing priming one of the miniatures right before the stream, and it was working. Gonna quickly make sure that everything that can be cleared out is cleared out. This is unfortunately part of the problem with using paints that are designed or best used with an airbrush, is that you have all of the lovely, joyful technical difficulties that come with having an airbrush. Especially if you're like me and you only have a cheap airbrush. Like, literally the cheapest one I could get, because I am a broke bitch, lol. Every time I see someone on YouTube using an airbrush, they have this really fancy thing. And I'm just like, bitch, I'm poor. I just have this basic thing, and it does the job. Most of the time, at least. Can you ask me something? You can always ask me something. I can't guarantee an answer, depending on what it's gonna be. But there's no harm in asking, usually. Why? What would you like to know? Wait, I haven't scuffed. Commence airbrush sounding protocols and praise the Omniscient. Lol. Can I get the scuff code? That's something you'd need to speak with Callus about, because Callus set that up. Lol. It's also in Nightbot. Or is it Nightbot? Or is it the other one? Hey, Halbert, thank you so much for the luck. This is literally airbrush sounding protocols. Trying to get through that fucking nozzle. Make sure that there's no fucking random bits in there. Which is honestly the hardest thing sometimes. So I've never heard it called airbrush sounding protocol, but I'm stealing that from now on. Because that's exactly what it is. You're just sounding an airbrush. No matter what you want to call it, it is what it is. Lol. Okay. I'm hoping that this is going to be fine now. It's just like, I feel like my airbrush just doesn't get along with certain paints. Because there are some where it's just like, yeah, it just doesn't want to let go through. For whatever reason. But this clog is entirely in the airbrush itself. Because I can see it's definitely not the little paint cup. Because that thing is dripping right now. I can see it, like, coming out the tube that connects with the airbrush. Wow. Tags! Oh my god!
Cortex and just cheered 100 bits. Can't find a donate link, so get sub to subby wubby bean.
Oh shit! Oh fuck! Thank you so much for the 10 gift subs, Tags. I really appreciate that.
Cortex and gifted 10 subscriptions
Fucking
to the community.
hell. That's so generous. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Ah. Hype train started. Oh shit.
Hype train started.
Oh god. Oh god. Chat, we getting the hype. We getting the hype. Are we gonna it's 80% to the next level, chat. It's 80% to the next level. We're almost at the next level. Do you wanna does some kind soul wanna bump it up? Bump it up to the next level? Anyone? Ah, I like seeing the number go up. Okay, that's all. Number go big. Make cat brains smile. No, I already spent all your money on VTubers. Understandable, Ruben. Understandable and very based. But make sure that you keep money for yourself as well, okay? Don't you spend too much money on VTubers. Make sure you always take care of yourself first. For you are always going to be the top priority. As it should be. Oh, also chat, I really hope that the waifu West company has ah!
Callus _ the archivist just cheered 100 bits.
Thank you so much, Callus. Wow. I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot. How much is a bit anyway? I don't know how it all works. You need the parasocial relationship. Oh. Nobody needs a parasocial relationship, do they? Oh my god. Yeah. Oh my god. You know what, fuck it, I don't need to do this. Oh god. That's so much darker. It's so much matter. What the hell is this? Oh my god. Phantom!
Phantom Anomaly gifted 1 subscriptions to the community.
Thank you so much for getting us to the next hype train level. That's advanced darkness. Like, if you look at the back, regular black. Look at the front, Maso black. Like, it's so dark. Like, if it weren't for the fact that it had a shape, you couldn't really see it. But now my airbrush is being shit and won't fucking spray. Come on. Am I meant to thin this? I might need to thin this. What if I just take out the nozzle? But like I'm seeing, there is like something is happening. It is doing something. I just don't know what. I don't know why it doesn't want to work. I've already cleaned it out. I've checked everything. I don't know what the block is. Have I done something really silly and not tightened this bit? No, that's fine. God, I swear to God. Airbrushes are sometimes more of a headache than they're worth. I swear, chat. I swear. Can I just brush it on? No. Is it the paint feed that needs sounding? No, the paint feed is coming through. Like, it's going into the paint chamber. So there's something in the paint chamber that's blocking the paint going through. Because if we look at if we look at my desk, when I put the paint cup down, you can see it's all coming out. All the paint that's there is from the chamber, from this into the thing. It's not an additional scuff. It's the same scuff we had before. Wow. And now it's working. So it's clearly there's something. It's the nozzle. It's the nozzle that's blocked. But I just cleaned out the nozzle. So why is it blocked? Oh, for fuck's sake. You know what? I don't need to use this particular nozzle. I can use a larger needle and it'll be fine. Because I'm not doing detail work here. I'm doing literally just big, chunky base coats. That's all I want this for, is to quickly just do a nice base coat on my models. All I want. So it's fine. It doesn't need to be it doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to be small. It just needs to be, you know. It just needs to do the job I want it to do. God. Let's use the 0.5 nozzle, which is significantly larger. And since we're just working with raw paint pigment, it should be fine. Hang on. Is this the bigger needle or the smaller needle? This is the bigger needle. Okay. Okay, I'm hoping that by switching out the needle and the nozzle, we should be fine. Yeah, that seems to be doing the right job. Okay. Here's hoping that we won't have any further problems. But that's weird. That's very strange. Hang on. I don't understand that. So if I put this bit on here... What is going on? I'm so confused. I'm so confused, chat. I don't like this. I don't like this one bit. It's not doing the thing I expect it to do. No! Oh, I dropped something. Ah! Oh, welcome to the woes of someone trying to use an airbrush that clearly is not capable of the task. Yeah, I don't know what the hell is going on here. It's like the nozzle, the needle is too big for the I don't... What have I done, chat? I've mixed everything up, it feels like. I've mixed everything up. Somehow. I don't know how, but I've mixed everything up, and now nothing's going together, and I'm just very confused, and I don't want to be confused. I want it all to work. I just want it to work, chat. This is the worst. Actually, the worst. It is making my autism just fucking not give me a nice time right now. Everything should be working. I don't understand why it's not. Maybe I need to use a different needle. But it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, chat. Wow. Oh no, I've got too many things out. I don't know which one is which anymore. Okay. Okay. No, I'm gonna try not to panic, cause I know myself, and if I start to panic, things will get very worse. I don't know how not to panic in these situations, because everything is meant to be in a way, and it's not in the way, and but it's fine. It's fine. Wow. Good old paintbrush, nothing ever beats that. Shush! You have to look directly into the nozzle to turn it on. It'll 100% work. Shush. Shush. I know your trickery. Your lies. Oh, this is clearly the smallest one. Okay, you know what? No, I don't want the smallest one. I don't want the smallest one. I do want whichever one is gonna fucking work, though. Wow. Okay. I know how to figure this out, chat. I've got the needle. I'm just gonna see which of these the needle goes through. I'm sorry this is all happening off stream. This is just me being terrible at organizing my shit, apparently. You just remembered that you played Minecraft and were mining in the darkness, and you should just get light or they will get you. Wow! Fuck off! I hated that. Everyone's so mean to me in Minecraft. Just because I'm not like one of these kids that always knows what the hell they're doing in Minecraft. Wow. It was so mean. I didn't deserve that. Wow. Wow. Okay, so this nozzle definitely goes with that needle. Cool. Problem 1 sorted. Now I just have to find the inner nozzle works, chat. And I know this because we tried to use it before with this needle and it worked. And a bit of paint came out and it was great. Wow. Okay. Now the question is, does this work with this? So This nozzle cap does not work with this. This nozzle cap does not let any air through in that state. Cool. So we know that one doesn't work. Does this one work? It lets air through, but a very small amount. So I think this one is just a bit too dark. I think in Minecraft they milk that. Is the milk? What's the milk bucket sound? I don't know what you mean. I've never heard of this. Why is it bad for the milk bottle sound in Minecraft, chat? What does it mean? Okay. This is the last nozzle, outer nozzle I've got, so I'm hoping that this is the right one. Otherwise, I don't know. That's definitely not the right one. Okay. So. That one doesn't even let any air through, so we know that that's definitely the wrong one. Fuck. Oh. And this nozzle is definitely clean, so... Well, shit. Okay. Well. This apparently should work. I know it lets some air through. Now it's not letting any... Oh my god! Why? Why does it just get worse, chat? It never gets better, it only gets worse. Was it this one that worked best with it? I can't remember. Okay, you know what? We're gonna try it with this. Gonna try it with this, and hopefully it'll be fine. Hopefully it will be fine. Hopefully. I think there's a bit of me that may have switched one of these nozzle tips when I first got the airbrush, not knowing what meant to go with what. So it could be that I've actually just spent all this time finding something, you know, really, really useful out. I say huffing as much copium as humanly possible, because I don't like wasting my own time, let alone anyone else's. And sometimes when I'm doing painting and it's just airbrush scuff, it's just like, bruh, why? So, let's try this again. So half an hour into the stream, can we start painting now? Airbrush. Is that a thing? Am I allowed? Apparently it's not. Yeah, no, apparently it's not. Apparently I'm not allowed to paint. Fucking hell. Ah! I hate you, chat. What if I just remove the needle entirely and just spray it, like, just without anything in there? I don't know that that's gonna work. Would that work? I feel like it could. Oh god, no, that doesn't work. That doesn't work at all. The airbrush does not like that. Holy shit. But why? I don't understand what you want, airbrush. What do you want from me? Work. I've done everything. All day I've been fighting with this fucking airbrush to get it to work. Then I got it to work, and then the minute I change paints, it just stops working. Ugh, fuck my life, chat. I swear. Airbrushes are a waste of time sometimes, I think. They're just so ugh. Ugh. Sometimes it feels that way, and I question my life choices. You know what, fuck, I don't need to do this extra dark bit. I don't need to do that. Fine. Fine. I'm just gonna give up on it and then just get on with the rest of what I was gonna do. Airbrush wants you to beg and submit to its device. No. I don't know what it wants. I don't know how to fix it, chat. I'm just that's how I feel in a word right now. I swear, if I change paints and it starts working, I will scream. I will be unhappy. And I do need this airbrush later because nothing else creates as nice, like, smooth cloth kind of stuff to my mind as airbrushing white. And I do want to do that later today. But I suppose we don't need to do that. And I would like to use airbrush on those inks. So I need to make it work. I don't need to do this extra thick black, like super dark black paint. It'll be fine. I don't need that. I don't need to do it. I don't need to do it. Wah. Wah. Scuff airbrush wrangler sim. Ah. I don't know why, chat. I don't know why. I'm just gonna empty out my airbrush and make sure it gets cleaned out properly. Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna leave this to soak. I'm gonna let it clean itself, and then we'll get back to the airbrush when we need to. For now, I'm just gonna let it soak, let it clean, and hopefully it'll behave itself by the time I actually need it. Because sometimes it feels like that's all you can do with an airbrush is just let it do its thing. I really do like that black color though. Like, it's so dark. It's so just unfathomably dark compared to every other black paint I've used. And it's very matte as well. Okay, no more paint glove. Oh, okay. Okay, right. Well, shit. Oh god, I need fresh paint water as well because I forgot to change it before the start of the stream. Okay, chat. I'll be back. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. So, anyway, ignoring all the scuff, simply just ignoring that there's been 30 minutes of scuff at the start of this stream, as I fought with an airbrush to get to work, I now need my white paint to work. My white paint and a dry brush. These things are not going to be hard to work at all. At least I hope that they're not. Airbrush Wrangler Sim. Yes, that's my life. Airbrush Wrangler Sim. So I'm going to take a very small makeup brush. Specifically a blender brush. And I'm going to use this to just, you know, bring out all the little edges. I'm hoping it'll be a nice, simple kind of thing. I don't know if I want to do the champion yet. Because I'm going to try a couple of different colors. So we're just going to try a couple of these Tartaros Terminators. Let's just do the two basic guys. This guy in the Han Solo pose and this other guy who's like, why I oughta. So, we are just gonna... I'm gonna crack open this monster. Because I literally woke up from a nap after oversleeping at the start of the stream. Which is entirely the reason why everything's just a little bit off today, probably. I know, I goofed. I can't help. I cannot help being a goofy goober sometimes. But, you know, I feel like that's half the reason people are here. Ah. So, we are going to start... We are going to start... that. And we're going to start with Vallejo game Dead White, which is a very nice... It's very close to Titanium White. And we're just going to get a little bit on this, on a soft kind of makeup brush like this. And we're just going to wipe it off on a bit of tissue paper. Now, I've heard that you should really use a bit of wood for this, honestly. Which I guess makes sense. So it's my hope that pretty much all the paint is off, which it looks like it is. I'm going to test it on the back of my hand. And then we're just going to try our best just to get just the edges, chat. Just the edges. Just the edges. Going to get... Just realized... Is there shadow on top of it? No. This might be a little bit rougher than I thought it would. I think there's a bit more paint on this than I hoped there would be. Oh well. So we're not trying to do the whole thing. This isn't an all-over dry brush. This is just a gentle, a little bit of edging is the overall plan. But this is going on a bit too thick. I don't like that. I don't like how thick that is, honestly. Why is it going on so thickly? There's barely any paint on here. Oh well. This is just the test model. I mean, most of these are just test models, in all honesty. It's the great thing about having the range up and coming, but still being able to use a similar color scheme for stuff. Maybe I should use a smaller brush. That could probably work, actually. The surfaces here are so big and round. This isn't Slapchop, by the way, though it is something very similar. Because I kind of am trying to get this sort of like... I don't know how to describe it, really. I'm just trying to visualize how to get the thing I want to get on the miniature. And I've got a bit of a plan. The plan is very much just a matter of inking everything down with either contrast paints or some actual inks. That's why I've got such a big variety. So I'm going to try and get some very nice bright edging on all of these little bits of miniature. And hopefully I can get away with doing these in a very kind of like monochromatic kind of color with this, is what my hope is. And I'm hoping it'll look really, really cool. I'm hoping it's going to look great. I don't see why it wouldn't. But at the same time, I'd kind of get if it didn't. I've never tried to do this kind of thing before. And the great thing about this all being dry brushed is that it's basically dry as we end. And the idea was that we just get all of the edges in. And I guess one thing I could do is I could stipple over bits like these shoulder pads with the Maso black and kind of just gradually build up that darkness, which I think is actually what I want to do. Just slowly build that stippling effect up. Which should be nice, honestly. At least I hope it'll work out nicely. Who knows? That's very, it's just so fucking smooth. I don't know what to think about it, honestly. I don't know that I actually need to do that. I'm sure it'll be fine. But yeah. Just one other edge here. Okay, so with that initial thing done, I think I'm going to start with the first kind of plan I had was to just see how the armor overall is going to look under pure magenta. That's AK Ink pure magenta. So let's try and see. I'll fix my spine. Hey, Truck, I'm good. I'm good. How are you doing? It's always lovely to see you in chat. So, even though this looks like quite a deep red, it's not. It's incredibly bright, pure magenta, which is very pink. I've been waiting to ink all over these guys, lol. I mean, bitch, I might. You know what? I could airbrush this. I genuinely think airbrushing is what I should be doing. But I don't want to waste any more time on the airbrush. So I'm just gonna brush it because it's a semi-transparent ink. So my hope is that if I brush this over, it's gonna bring out all of the little white bits really nicely. But I might need to increase. There we go. I think this is basically what I was trying to get. I do think this might be a bit nicer through the airbrush. But that's pure magenta over what we did before. And I think it's a very simple but very effective look, honestly. But we're going to try a couple of different colors. Because, like, the Emperor's Children are always, as always, are all about that individual expression. So I don't want to have too much matching stuff in the army. Why does this look so messy compared to where I was doing it, to the first bit I was doing it? There's something in the paint. No. I think there's probably just a bit too much paint on the brush, honestly. That's okay. It's ink, so it's very thin, and we can just spread it around before it dries. But I do think this gets us a very nice color overall. Like, one that just works for the Emperor's Children. Like, it's sort of pinkish, sort of purplish, very dark. Without being too dark. I think, you know what? I think that we can do this again. But I want to do a second dry brush to just get it a little bit brighter. Just a little bit extra bright. I think that'll look really well. What do you think, chat? Do you think so far this initial kind of look is a good one to try out? pre-shading and inking is just like Slapshot or many other of the other different techniques people use. But I just kind of like how like it just builds to that like very bright edge on the edges. So if we just focus on just doing the edges, then yeah. Well, we've got a couple of different other colors I want to try. So I'm not sure. Maybe we should just stop it with... maybe we should just try and get this one color looking as good as we can. I think I'll do another one with this exact ink. I think I'll do the other Terminator with this exact ink. But, like, try and do an extra bright bit of white on the very edges. Just because, like... this ink can tint the black quite powerful. Quite strongly as well. Hey, Mika. I'm glad that you're doing well, and thank you, Truck. I think it's a nice overall color scheme. Like, I feel like you can't really go wrong with, like, pure inks a lot of the time. That's a very, like, nice purple color, honestly. Well, purplish pink color. Let's see if we can get a little bit more... Let's see if we can get to pop more on the next one. Another thing I might try and do, actually, is try and do sponge, like, sponge shading, or sponge highlighting. That's not something I've done before. Maybe I'll try and, maybe I'll do that on one of them. Yeah. Where are my makeup sponges? Do I want to really do that? I don't know, I feel like I'll have less control over it. Let's try this guy. And we're just gonna, once again, we're just gonna go over, carefully just get the edges. Anime nap, Katos turn, not napping Katos. Well, I was napping earlier. Every anime cat is a napping cat. If they're not, then they're not really being a cat, right? Well, that's how it works. Every cat is a napping cat. So that way it's always napping cat's turn. Huh, I think a little bit of the ink has gotten into the white that I was brushing this with. Kind of nice, honestly. It has this sort of like almost lavendery look to it. Oh shit. Too much paint on the brush. I thought I'd gotten it all off. Well, most of it off. Okay. I think I will have to do another coat. I think this brush is generally better for just it's smaller, so there's a lot more control, and I think it's a little bit easier to just do this kind of dry brushing, like with it rather than a bigger, rounder brush. Okay. And then it's just a matter of just picking out more of the edges here. Second extra dry brush over some of these bits seems like a good idea, honestly. Just helps pick out a bit more. Get a much brighter overall kind of like tone. I'm not trying to do just like something more basic. This is a lot more basic than... Actually, no, is it more basic? I don't know. We tried to do something similar, very different to this, but it didn't feel that similar. It was all just trying to find the right colors. I've never tried to do something relatively simple like this. Though I'm not entirely sure it's showing up. I'm not entirely sure it's going to be as dark as I thought it was going to be originally, honestly. But that's okay. I don't dislike the overall tone this is getting. I keep ending up dry brushing more of it than I need to in order to get those very edges. That just means I can kind of just push the contrast in those bits, I think. Though a bit of me wonders if I'm just dry brushing it like this, I might as well just use a really big brush. Okay. Let's see how this is going to look. I imagine this is going to look really, really different. The great thing about this, though, is I don't have to be super precise. It's not about the size, it's how you use it. Look, but sometimes but bigger brushes give bigger coverage. Like, it's a fact. And sometimes you just want more coverage. So it's my thinking that this should work out to be a much brighter, hotter, like, a much brighter, almost more like fuchsia-ish kind of look. I don't know that I prefer it. Like, just pure magenta ink. Like, I don't know that I like it that much, honestly. I think I preferred this sort of, like, duller, darker version. Rather than doing the overall kind of, like... Yeah. But it's gonna be fine. I'm sure it'll look different if we ever get to the oil wash stage tonight. We probably won't. But I guess that depends on how much I want to do. I'm not really interested in painting all of these models in one night. This is more just like trying to see, hey, what colors kind of work with this idea I had before. Yeah, this is a much more overall brighter color, and I'm not super keen on it, honestly. I think I want to go back to how I did it in the first one. Just being as light touch as possible. As light touch as possible, and then with the ink wash. Yeah. Yeah, that's much brighter than I wanted it to be. Oh well. That's fine. This guy can just be very absurdly extra bright. I don't mind. I don't mind inconsistency. In fact, I want there to be inconsistency in the army. So if one guy is just extra bright, then that's fantastic. I always thought magenta was meant to be a bit more red than pink, but I kind of like it. I'll probably do a black oil wash on this one when it's done. For some of them, I want to do a bit more purple. Like for some of the ones that really don't have as much color, I think I want to add a bit more color in some of the recesses and whatnot. I think that's the right way to go, at least. I'm just covering up the thing with my hand. Add more purple, yeah. So for some of them, I'm going to do a purple oil wash. For some of them, I'm going to do a black oil wash. For some of them, I might try a sepia oil wash. For others, I might do a blue oil wash, depending on what their overall color is. Like, if some of them end up a bit more red, I'll probably use a blue red rather than pink. I'll probably end up with a blue oil wash over it, just to bring it a bit more back down. I can't believe I missed this whole inner leg bit. Oh my god. But yeah. I do quite like how strong this color looks. Like, even on a relatively, like, black kind of model, like the first one, it still comes through really strong, this color. Whereas the one on the left, I think on the camera, it looks a lot more red. It's not red, to my eye. It's just a very, like, warm purple. But I think that's me done with that particular magenta. Because I quite like this one. I think this one gets us that sort of like old school 2002 Fantasy Chaos miniatures look. I don't dislike it. I don't dislike it. Now for the next one, I will test with Chain Fist Dude. Chain Fist Dude. And for this guy, I think what I want to do is... You're a warm purple. Yes. Yes, I am a warm purple. I think next time we're gonna... Next one we're gonna see how the fluorescent pink ink looks on him. I think that's gonna be really nice looking, honestly. It's gonna be very, very neon kind of dreams, and I'm here for it. Honestly, brushing on inks feels to work like it works way better than airbrushing them. Because sometimes when you're with the airbrush, they just don't really want to behave like they don't want to adhere as well. I'm not sure why that is, honestly. I know they're a lot thinner, so I don't know if maybe I'm like putting the PSI too high with the airbrush. So, you're once again gonna work with Liquitex fluorescent pink. So, it should be really nice. Also, if I shine the black light on it, I don't know if that glow comes through, but it really like brightens up. So, I think that on the edges is gonna be quite fun. So, let's give that a go. Again, gonna focus purely on getting the edges out, and just trying to catch the edges, not trying to catch any of the other bits. I don't like edge highlighting, if I want to be honest. I don't know if this counts as edge highlighting or not. I think it does. I'm just not very good at like the whole edge highlighting. I'd rather just dry brush because I just think it saves a lot of time. Maybe it's not quite as neat and clean, but I'm not trying to like really focus on improving anything. This is more just color experiments with like relative battle line kind of units. Because, well, like infantry, you know? I quite like the way it looks, though, overall. I wonder what other colors I could use. I've got a bunch of contrast paint that I'm going to try and use on these as well. That should be fun. I do reckon this look is going to go really well on that Mark 6 Praetor, because his armor has a lot of like texture to it, so it's going to look really nice. I just have to settle on the color for him, because it's a really good model. I don't want it to look crap. Maybe I'll spend a bit more time on him. I'm not sure. I don't know. See, this one is looking very much like a lot more controlled. I think that those first two, I'm glad that they were just the most basic ones with like just power fists, because I think they were kind of like warm-up minis. I do think it's possible. It's good to like try and do some basic practice before like you work on anything you really want to make sure looks good, like a character model or something. Okay. I think that's a nice bit of pre-shading on there. I think we've caught out all the little bits that need to be kind of picked up. So the real question is, how is this ink gonna look? Because I know it's not as transparent as the other ink we just used. Like, I know that the fluorescent inks that Liquitex makes are not intended to be transparent. So I'm not entirely sure how I want to do this, honestly. I've just dropped that brush I was using. I think if I just kind of dry brush it on, that'll probably be the most sensible way to approach it. So I don't want it to have too much paint on the brush. But then again, I could just paint it on. Yeah, even though it's not even though it's only like semi-opaque, it seems to. It doesn't seem too strong. Hang on. Are bits of it separating? I think the pigment is separated. That's annoying. So maybe I have to just go ham on it. I think I do. Yeah. Otherwise the pigment's going to separate if I try and dry brush it. I guess maybe fluorescent paints aren't the easiest to work with, and that's why no one really tries to use them. That's a lot of paint. Like, a lot more than I think I intended. Okay. I do kind of like this overall kind of like just the edges kind of pink, but I don't know that this is the paint that I want to do this with, if I want to be honest. It just like when I tried to use that fluorescent oil wash, it just kind of doesn't really behave in the right kind of way. It just kind of like kind of does what it wants to. I don't really have so much control over how it applies. At least that's what it feels like with this ink. It just kind of like does what it wants. It doesn't really have the same properties as other paints I've used, and I don't really like that, honestly. That's a shame. I don't know, chat. What do you think? I don't know how to describe this one. It just kind of looks like a bit of a mess, honestly. Like, even with the pre-shading, none of the ink is going where I expect it to go. But I guess that's because it's not, unlike the other one, unlike the first ink, it's not really transparent. It's quite opaque. Yeah, I'm not keen on that. I will get all of this neon off. Actually, as I dabble the excess off, I think it's starting to look alright. But I don't know, chat. Yeah, no, I'm not keen on this. I'm not keen on this at all. I don't think it looks good. I don't think it looks good at all. I'm gonna strip this one. Into the alcohol bin you go. Into the alcohol bin you go. I say bin, it's not a bin, it's just a Tupperware box that I've got for isopropyl alcohol. So I stripped a mini earlier today, so I just have that there. So I'll leave it in to like soak for a bit. Then we'll brush off all the paint and maybe reprime it later. Okay. What should we try next? So I think I've ruled this thing out as it's not that good, honestly. You wanted it to be, it looks like your old bicycle when you were 9 years old and you wanted it to be purple and red. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about that, Ruben. Childhood memories being brought back. Yes. Yeah, no. I'm not keen on how that turned out. Though if I am lucky, I can quickly just, if I'm quick, because the paint wouldn't have set yet, I can just, in theory, just gently scrub off all the pink. Oh no. Yeah, no, that's taken off more than just the pink. Oh well, yeah. Right. Well, that was very, like, so much quicker than I thought it was going to be to strip off. Holy shit. This is why, chat, if you paint, always have some isopropyl alcohol in your house. Because if you ever want to change something or restart a project or repaint something, you can do it in seconds. Oh, Truck, I'm so glad you get to relax with us here. It's what I hope everyone can do, really. But yeah, look how quick that is. Look how quick that was to strip. So we'll reprime this guy later in the stream. There's still like bits of alcohol on him, so it'll just air out. And a little bit of paint too. So he'll just air out, then we'll reprime him and probably try again later in the stream. But for now, we like Doomfire Magenta. Doomfire Magenta is very much our strongest contestant for like the overall kind of look we want. I'm once again gonna wash out this. We've got some contrast colors next. Now the contrast should behave in the way I want it to. I don't know that I want to go really hard on the contrast paints. In fact, I don't think I need to go super hard on the contrast paints. Because, yeah. I kind of want that gradual, careful fade to black on the miniature. Fuck. That's too much paint on the brush. Again, too much paint on the brush. What the fuck? I literally tested this. There shouldn't be any paint on this brush. But I mean, there should be barely any paint. But it does have quite a strong white pigment, so I guess I'd have to be more careful in my application. Focus on just getting the edges. How light is it? Can I make this brighter? No. Okay. Let's just gently do these. Get these edges out nice and bright. I'm being super careful here because I genuinely do want a bit of... I do want it to mostly be black. And for mostly the edges to be the colored things. So I'm trying not to oversaturate any of the bits in white. Okay. I kind of like how there's a lot of like, even though it's quite smooth, there are quite and round in a lot of places, this Tartaros armor. It has some very nice sharp edges, which I really kind of like. I genuinely think Tartaros Terminator armor is... I don't think it's quite as cool as Cataphracti Terminator armor. But I think it is my favorite design. Hey Vax, what a coincidence. You got a Termi squad today, nice. What Termi squad did you get? Was it the 10th edition 40k ones, the new chonky boys? I prefer these old Tartaros ones myself. And the Horus Heresy ones in general. I just think not only are they a better buy in terms of how much money they cost, but they're just nice. They also come with a ton of accessories, which is great for kit bashing. I might as well just dry brush this a bit while I'm here. Not that it matters. Okay, so what do we think next? I don't think I want to have Phoenician Purple, because that, once again, is quite an opaque one. But I think I will try Eidolon Purple Clear. I think that'll be a very nice one to kind of work with. Mostly because I know I've used it before, and it's just a nice paint. Just a nice paint. So that is Citadel Eidolon Purple Clear, which is a very nice paint, honestly. I've used it before on a couple of things, and it's very bright, deceptively so, I think. I think this might actually be one of my favorite colors. Like, it's not a contrast paint, but it's just another clear ink that should go really well over this. Luxium Purple, the contrast, I also have some high hopes for. But I think on this one, I don't know. I think more than anything, it's going to be whichever has the highest saturation is probably going to be the best one to work with. That's my thinking, at least. Because ultimately, it's whatever has the most saturation I think is going to look the best. Oh, shit. And it's just nice. It's just nice getting to wash things in color and just see them kind of start to pop. I don't think this one is as intense as I remembered it being, but last time it was on a much brighter finished model through an airbrush when I used it. It's on my Vespertilio Havoc Lord kit bash. You have some lore in the canon. I guess I should probably use them as a Harken World Claimer on the tabletop though. And this is just like a nice kind of like purplish black kind of scheme on this one, which just kind of works. Like one thing I do quite like about this method is you can go as hard with it and add extra colors and all that stuff as you like, or you could just leave it. You could just leave it as a single solid color, and that kind of works when it's like this. Yeah, I think that goes for a very different tone to the pure magenta. Again, it's very dark, and I kind of like that about it. I like how dark it is, but it's just got a little bit of color, just a smidge of color, just like. What do you think, chat? How do you think they compare? I reckon this one will need some gold accents, but I do think this looks a lot nicer than like that sort of more subtle almost black, fade to black kind of dark purple. I do think it's actually a lot nicer looking than the solid purple colors I was trying before, honestly. Again, with gentler airbrushing just on the edges, I think it's a good look. I think this one needs more contrast though, so I don't think. While I'm not going to change this one, I don't think this is a paint I'm going to use. You can dig it. I'm glad. Fave poses, especially the terrible army looking to the side, shifting, has an open palm on the fist. You can use to slap a Chaos Space Marine on the head. Well, yeah, I think this is again the best one. Even though these two are the same colors, this one I think the contrast values aren't high enough. I think with this idea of doing the whole super dark dry brush, I mean super dark, super like black into a highly saturated color, I think it's only going to work with the brighter pigments. So I'm going to immediately rule out using some of these paints. Shyish Purple I know is very dark. Druchii Violet is an ink. I don't think that's going to be strong enough, honestly. I mean, it's not an ink, it's a shade. Still, shade paints are very... I'm not going to use Leviathan Purple either, because that's very dark. I think the next one I want to try... I mean, I could try using Druchii Violet. I just don't have high hopes for it. I think I want to try Luxium Purple next. And I think for this one... For this one, I'm just trying to think which model I want to do. I'll just go with this guy. Yeah. Just go with this guy. He's a shiny little boy. So again, I'm just gonna pick out the edges, all the sharp bits here and there. Must hydrate. Druchii Violet, it won't change. Yeah, that's what I thought. Like, the issue with, I find with Citadel Shades versus inks is that inks do a lot more. Like, they're much more stronger paints. They're just much stronger paints. This guy has too many fucking edges, Jesus Christ. This is part of the problem with some of the more modern Chaos Space Marine sculpts, is that they're just so edgy. Wow. Both in a comical sense and in a literal sense. There's so many, like, you could fucking cut yourself on some of these spikes, I swear. I don't want to cut myself when I handle my miniatures. I want them to be cool. I don't want them to make me bleed. They're there to make the enemy bleed. This is how I'll win tournaments, chat. I'll just be like, hey, have a look at my miniatures. Oh, your hand's bleeding. Well, that's a health and safety risk. You can't have you played in this tournament bleeding all over the place. God. Get disqualified, nerd. Well. Would that could work. I wouldn't do it, but it would be funny. Maybe I could make a TikTok short out of it. That would be funny. That works as a gag, right, chat? The new that guy kind of thing. God, I'm going to try and go to tournaments later this year. I'm going to try my best to go to tournaments later this year and play big 2,000-point games. Because I know that there's a couple of places just like 10 minutes away from town that do monthly tournaments. And that should be really fun. I'm going to try my best to get a Death Guard army thrown together so I can do something. Probably not in February. There is a tourney in February. But probably going to try and do it for March if I can. Okay. Okay. We're going to try Luxium Purple Contrast, which I know is a very nice paint. So I just need to make sure it works the way I hope it will here. Will I move this a bit closer? Yeah. Okay, so we're going to use Luxium Purple, and hopefully this will work really, really well. My one big hope with this is that it'll still look nice enough that I don't have to do a bunch of trim. That's one of the other things I'm hoping, is that it'll look good enough that I won't have to do a bunch of... What is... Oh, is it because it's got the resin head? But I fucking hate resin. It's actually the worst thing to work it with. Yeah, this guy actually has the head from the Palatine Blades from Forge World. Maybe it's not... Maybe it's because of the gloss varnish, honestly. Not the gloss varnish. It's not varnish. It's a gloss black paint. I never really had this interaction before because I don't often use gloss black, except on specific circumstances where I'm like trying to use like where I'm trying to set it up to use where I'm trying to set it up to use color shift paints, because they need like the Green Stuff Wild Chameleon paints, they need a gloss black primer underneath them, otherwise they don't work. Or they do work, they just don't work as well as they could. So you get maximum color shift if it's a dark color that absorbs light and also is very reflective. So it wants gloss black underneath it so that it can work and do the thing it needs to do. I do think this is working the way I want it to, but I do think Luxium Purple, with where it's mostly black, it doesn't really have enough... I think it needs a brighter overall foundation for it to work. I need to do a second coat. Usually you don't with contrast paints. That is a bit brighter than I mean, it's not that it's brighter, it's just... It's not as well saturated as I thought it was going to be. I know what a few people do is they mix not Druchii Violet. They mix Luxium Purple with Eidolon Purple Clear. These last two paints. I think it's okay. I don't think it's... I think, once again, this is in the too dark to use territory. So I'm going to put that aside for now. I'm also going to put Eidolon Purple Clear aside. Just so that... Actually, no. I'll put them... Yeah. I'm going to put them behind the miniatures that they were used in. I don't dislike the way it's turned out. I think it could be better with different paints. You know? I just don't think I don't think the saturation is as high as I thought it was going to be. Because it's a very vivid and bright purple. Like, it's not exactly a weak pigment. It's very bright, but I guess it just when mostly it's black, and the color it has to cling on to is kind of few and far between, relatively speaking. Yeah, it's not gonna look as good as I've seen it in some places, I guess. I guess that's the one weakness with contrast inks, is that they depend on that brighter. They really, in fact, I think that's a weakness of Citadel paints, in like not just the contrast but the shades as well. They depend very much on what's underneath them. They're not strong in their own right. Whereas you can see with this, like, it could even color the black if you went hard enough with it. But that's pure magenta, like pure just perfect magenta. I do think that's the way I'm leaning with this with the Emperor's Children, honestly. Just do a very quick, like, quick edge dry brush to, like, bring them out. Aliana, oh no, I forgot to turn that off. I'm so sorry. I don't have VTube Studio today. I cannot give you a spinny. I cannot give you a spinny. I will refund you. What? Sorry. Spider Noir is cool. That's a mate. Just scamming. That's a mate shaking my head. Bruh. Bruh. I have literally refunded. Well. Also, what do you think of this guy? He is one of my kitbashed flawless blades. I made him out of a Stormcast guy, and with some Chaos Space Marine bits and some Hedonized Slaanesh bits. Wow! I think he's cool. I also gave him the Night Lord Scream I had. Yeah. He's got that big saber, and then he's got a little gladius kind of thing. You don't know if the scaling will be off? My dude. He's taller than a Terminator. He's literally taller than a Terminator. The scaling won't be off. The scaling will not be off, because let's put him next to the Possessed guy. Literally the same size, almost. He's a little bit smaller. But yeah, the Flawless Blades are larger than regular Marines. They're also more slender. So I feel like this is actually the perfect kind of profile or body shape to kitbash into it. Because when they launch, they're not going to have any Flawless Blades. So I would like to have some Flawless Blades ready to put on the tabletop. Because the Lord Exultant is probably going to lead them. Speaking of Lord Exultant, here's my Lord Exultant. Lol. Because he's literally this model, but like 40k-ified. Is he not? Like, he just is. Alright then, albeit if you don't paint that tabard as skin, I will rage. But I don't need it to be skin. I could do it flesh colored. I could. But for this session, I think my goal is to just get some basic colors down, rule some things out for the rest of the army. I think this is how I'm going to paint most of them, if I want to be honest. This guy I'm not going to strip, but I'm not going to use that paint again. I think we'll try Magos purple, Volupus pink, Doomfire magenta, and Sigfold burgundy. In that order. So we've got 4 more paints to try out. 4 more paints for 4 more guys. And then we'll settle on that. We'll settle on that in a bit. We'll settle on that today. Okay. I'm just gonna dry brush all 4 of these guys for now. Just get that done and out of the way, you know? instead of dry brushing them each individually, one by one. Just do them in a quick, super quick batch. I really should have done this at the start, honestly. I'm a bit silly. A little bit silly. But you know, what's new? Also, if you do not Slaanesh demons, yes, but not all are in the. Yeah, I'm aware. I'm aware. I could pick up some Slaanesh demons. I'm kind of a bit annoying because they stopped selling the start collecting Slaanesh box, Slaanesh demons box like last year. And I was thinking, I was on the fence about getting it, and it came with a lot of miniatures, and like now the Steam Knights of Slaanesh start collecting box doesn't have any fucking demons in it, and I'm just like, bruh. Bruh, I can't believe you've done this. I know a lot of the time people do this sort of pre-shading thing. They do like a gray layer in between. But not for these guys. I think I want that super high contrast from one color to the next, from the black to the white, which is why I'm kind of skipping that. I'll probably use something like a dark purple for this crab claw, like a Leviathan purple. I think that'll probably look quite good. Then I wonder if that's a bit too saturated, honestly. Maybe I'll use I think for the arm, yeah, I could blend that. I could blend very pale contrast paint into a much darker purple. That'd probably work quite well on that, actually. I've got so much paint on the back of my hand right now. Wow. Okay, what am I doing? Get the edges and the back of this armor. But yeah, these possessed are my kitbashed, flawless blades, because they're not going to have them on release. So when I get the Emperor's Children box set, army box set, my plan is to also get some of these guys. I mean, my plan is to later get some of these guys. Probably in the combat patrol, honestly. Because it comes with a squad of 6 of them. Plus an extra character. A spare character probably won't go amiss, honestly. I wouldn't mind getting a Keeper of Secrets, actually, now that I think about that. I think that'd be quite fun to paint. I've been thinking of trying to do the, if I do get one, I'll do like the, all of the robes and stuff that they've got, like, draping around them. I'll try and do that like a galaxy, so that it's like they've got like a whole nebula kind of thing with stars and stuff in their cloak behind them, and it'll look really cool. I like me getting sus because they got a lot in range and they are canning the Demon Codex and they're only putting a little bit of stuff in. Because a lot of it has different lore, honestly. Like I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna try and get rid of anything that's very Age of Sigmar oriented, which I think makes sense. So I don't think some of the stuff should be in there, but that's just me. That's just me. Oh, that's too much paint. Yeah, that's just me though. I feel like some of it, not all of it, needs to be in there, because some of it is a lot more Age of Sigmar focused, and they're just like, okay, we'll put this in 40k, and it doesn't really have any 40k lore. So I'm just like, well, okay, this is random. Bring back Doom Rider. Well, everyone loves Doom Rider. Like the only bike character in all of the fucking Chaos Space Marines faction. Everyone loves Doom Rider. Even if he's got a shit name. Fucking edgelord biker gang guy. Lol. Way better than Lucius the Eternal. But then again, being better than Lucius the Eternal in the Emperor's Children isn't that hard. We should have got fucking Eidolon instead. Where's my Eidolon, G-dubs? I literally have him painted up. Let me use him. We're not even getting raptors. Like, how bullshit shit is that? Fucking Emperor's Children and raptors go together like Night Lords and flayed skin. Like... You know what I actually need to do? I need to do my my old Noise Marine from the plastic one that they discontinued recently. I need to do him up as a Lord Cacophonist because I was going to use him as a Lord Cacophonist proxy until they actually release the Lord Cacophonist. Just because he looks a bit different, you know? He stands out. I could totally run him as like having dual pistols. Mr. Krabs. That's what I'm gonna call this guy, Mr. Krabs. Thank you, Phantom. I don't often name my miniatures, but that one is now officially in your honor, Mr. Krabs. I might have been a bit too dry brushed. I'm just trying to make it so it's as close to the edges, but there's so many different like there's so much texture on these 40k Marines. It's really hard to just focus on just doing the edges with the dry brush. Because there's so many like rough edges and bits of like trim that need to get picked up. Otherwise, there's no point to what I'm doing. At least I don't think there is. Wow. I thought I heard a bonk. Am I just paranoid for bonks, chat? I might be. I'm so used to like getting bonked when I've missed something. And I try my best to keep up with chat. But sometimes I just ramble and don't look at the screen. I don't mean to. I just do. I kind of love these like this clawed hand just being pure black, like, or at least the claws on it being pure black. I think that I think that's quite a good look. Yeah. Okay, last guy to prep for now. And that's our latest kitbashed, which I honestly finished building like 2 hours before the stream was due to start. I say before it was due to start because I had a nap after and then I overslept. Wow. Wow. I really like some of the Hedonites of Slaanesh parts. I very much feel that they borrowed, not insignificantly, from the Hedonites. Like, there's a lot of very cool, like, nods to their design aesthetic, I think, that they've put in the Emperor's Children. And just while I'm dry brushing, I'm gonna quickly do all of this cloth as well. Just because I'll probably end up doing it later anyway. Okay. A little bit more of a dry brush on the arms, the power pack. His hair. I think I'm gonna have his hair be white. That sort of like Fulgrim-esque kind of a aesthetic, you know? Okay. I think that'll do for now. Got everything nice and pre-shaded and or pre-highlighted. Some very nice high contrast kind of look. Look at all of these. Oh, you're even wearing gloves in the start if you're going to take them off. Because like airbrush, it gets so much paint on your hands. Like it gets so much paint on your hands. I see having to clean it all off. Okay, don't at me. Like, it takes ages, like, forever. Like, yeah, I know I've got a lot of paint on my hand now, but, like, it's different with an airbrush. It just gets caked on, and it takes ages to scrub off, and I seebs. Whereas this is just going to be, like, a very quick rinse off. You know? Nice and easy. Just like your mama. Lol. Always wear gloves. Never! I'm too tactile. I'm too tactile. I don't like to wear gloves. Even when it's cold. I should probably wear more gloves in the cold, though. But that's a problem for another time. Like tomorrow morning when I go out to work. Lol. Okay. So, Magos Purple. Which of these guys looks like a Magos Purple? Volupus Pink. I think Magos Purple is going to be Mr. Krabs. Magos Purple seems like a Mr. Krabs kind of color. Let's move these guys out of the way. You hate having your hands dirty. That's fair, Metal. Okay. Okay, Magos Purple. I don't know what kind of color Magos Purple actually is, if I want to be honest. I know I think it's quite a bright purple, if I remember correctly. But I don't remember correctly, because I don't actually remember what it was like the last time I used it. But I feel like it's quite a bright purple. So I think that it'll look quite good. I don't know how it's going to look compared to the other stuff we've done. But I'm hoping it'll look alright. I guess the issue I have with contrast paints and doing this is I feel like contrast paints achieve the opposite of what we actually are trying to do here. Because they are gonna, while yes, they will stain the white better, most of the paint wants to drift into the recesses, which is like the bit that's obviously darkest, and it's just not gonna show up as well. It's really annoying, but that's just how the paint behaves. So I feel like at this point, I can almost certainly conclude that the first thing we tried is almost gonna be the best thing. At least for the intent of the kind of paint scheme I want to go for. I think this will be like the overall theme of my Emperor's Children warband, but maybe we'll like throw in a few different colors here and there just to add a bit of individuality. Because Emperor's Children are all about that individual expression, so you don't have to feel like there's any uniformity when painting this army, because there shouldn't be. There really shouldn't be. I mean, some warbands do have it, but I like the idea that everyone paints their own armor, they get it to be the way that they want it to be, as opposed to tying into any particular warband. But that's just me. Though I am almost certainly going to have a kind of warband color scheme. I'd quite like to do the new Lord Exultant miniature in the colors of my VTuber. Like, as in just the exact same, like very similar kind of patterning. Like, in terms of like where the trim goes and the color placement. I think it would look quite good, honestly. The Lord Exultant would look really good in my VTuber colors. All the lavender and like soft purples and pastels. I think it will look great. Magos Purple. You have behaved like I thought maybe you would. Which is, you know, nice and all, but it's not very useful for what I'm trying to achieve here. Magos. You have left the purples really pale though, which I quite like. I do quite like this. I don't think this, once again, this is going to be a main color. I do think I prefer it to Luxium purple though, which is a shame, which is unexpected, honestly, because I didn't think I would. I think it's because it's just got that slightly warmer tone. It's just got a tone that's just slightly, ever so slightly warmer. But it still looks basically black here. Okay. Now these three, I think these three here, these paints, we're gonna really cook with. I think we'll try Doomfire Magenta. Doomfire Magenta as our next contrast test. So they're just the same. They're just a boy band, all the same but slightly different. Lol. Yes, maybe. Yes. Not even maybe. Yes. So this looks very red. Like this looks. Then again, the other magenta also looked very red. Doomfire Magenta. I'm gonna paint this guy in this color. I get the feeling. That this is going to look very similar to no, it's not actually. It's going to be way more red. Okay, well, that's interesting if nothing else. Cool. Oh, I don't like this at all. Yeah, I can safely say I don't like this. It's too red. And once again, it's a contrast behaving like a contrast, which I don't know why. I'm hoping it's going to behave a little bit more tame. But yeah, I'm just going to try and spread this paint out. Actually, no, it's starting to look a bit more pink, honestly. Yeah, just got to give it a chance. Yeah, I think I'll give it a chance. See how it looks like when it's actually dry. Or at least when the section is finished. Yeah, I don't dislike Doomfire Magenta. It's still... I don't think it's as good as the actual like pure magenta ink. Yeah, no, I'm gonna strip this down. I don't like that. Right, Doomfire Magenta. Into the pile of nope you go. Into the pile of nope. Watching your stream heals my eyes from the game. Doom fired Magenta. How will Magenta get a job now? But you see, Magenta already has a job. Well, yeah, I just don't think it's as good for our purposes here. Right, I'm gonna strip this one down because I can. Right, I'll leave that to soak, and by the time I finish the next miniature, I should be able to scrub the paint off of it. Okay. Volupus Pink, I'll use on this guy. Now, Volupus Pink is a very... It's a very... I don't know how to describe it. It's a very soft pink. Like, I use Volupus Pink when I'm doing... I use Volupus Pink when I'm doing, like, organs and guts and stuff, because it's a very kind of natural kind of flesh kind of inner color, I think. So I'm not sure how it's going to react to being used, or how it's going to look used as armor, as an armor coloring. It should be interesting, if nothing else. I think it'll look okay, honestly. I feel like it's one of those bits that, yeah, it's going to be fine. Though I don't know that it's going to be a color I'm going to want to use. But who knows? I really like... I feel like I've got a decent-ish aesthetic on these guys, honestly. Yeah, I think this isn't a bad color, honestly. It's not my favorite, but I don't think it's much like most of the others. I don't think it's something I dislike enough that I'm gonna go out of my way to strip and change, unlike the previous color. Like, there are some that I just don't think it looks good enough to use. And that's okay. Not everything is going to be perfect. But that's the nature of it all. It's a shame the Emperor's children never learned that lesson. Or perfection is never something one ever achieves, honestly. It's the goal, not the end point. I actually think Volupus Pink looks quite nice here. It's very warm, very mild. Is it what I was going for originally? No. Do I think it's bad? Also no. I do quite like how these guys are very different to everything else I've painted for the Legion. Like, just by trying to do this old 2002 era color scheme. It's kind of worked, for the most part. I've been able to... I feel like we had the perfect idea for how to get this right the first time. And the rest is mostly just like, yeah, narrowing it down. Or, well, just trying to see if maybe there's an alternative that we have access to. Honestly, there probably is an alternative that could do this better, but just with what I've got on hand, I mean, I can never do with. I know you can never like do with too many art supplies in house, but I do not have that many because my art supply budget is basically what I get from Twitch. But thanks to all of you generous beings, I appreciate you all. Use it for your orc tongues. Yeah, it looks very different here. I guess it's because it's on such a dark base. It looks like this really nice, deep, rich, warm purple. I like it. I like it. Now, one I'm absolutely sure is going to work. Huh. This Magos purple became very low saturation. Yeah, I still think pure magenta is the way to go here. Okay. And for this guy... For this guy, we're going to use Sigvald Burgundy, which is a color I've used a lot. I really like Sigvald Burgundy. I just think it's genuinely one of my favorite paints. I think it should look really nice here. Because it's just... I feel like it's one of those paints that's it's always hard to go wrong with. It just always looks really nice. If you want that kind of like warm wine red kind of purplish look, I think it's honestly the one, quite possibly the best paint for it if you want to work simply and efficiently. I'm sure there are things you could do to make it better, like push the shades a bit more blue, add a bit more pink into the highlights and all that stuff. But that's for later. Yeah. Okay, let's get under here. Okay. I just think Sigvald Burgundy is just a very nice color, honestly. It's just a really nice paint. Honestly, one of my favorite paints I think Games Workshop has ever actually made. I don't know how purple it looks because when I painted this, I originally used it for my word bearers because in the lighting, I thought it was red. I thought it was just a very dark red because burgundy is a red shade. It's not just a purple shade. It's a purplish red shade. But when I took it into Games Workshop, the word bearers, everyone thought they were Emperor's Children because in the shop light, it just looked a lot more it looked a lot more purple. I mean, it looked a lot more purple than it did at home. And I do think that's probably still the case, honestly. I think it looks more red at home. Even though I've got better lighting now, and I can see it is definitely purple on my end. I feel like from a distance, you guys can't necessarily see that. Does it show up as purple? Swords or power smalls? Pure Magenta for the bulk, but pick off random bits in the other colors. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of doing. That's what I'm thinking of doing. Like, for my rank and file soldiers, like my tormentors and the battle line, I think I'm gonna have like mostly just do that whole pattern I did on that very first one. They also don't have nearly as much trim as Chaos Space Marines, which is fantastic, because every Chaos Space Marine player will tell you how much they hate doing trim. And I don't mind it. I do, however, think it's exhausting after a while, because painting an entire army isn't exhausting enough. Well. Part of me wonders if I should do Warhammer paint commissions. I don't know if I could. I could try. I could try. It would be nice to earn some extra money doing that. I've never tried before though. I think I'd only do it to battle ready standard. I could try. It'd be nice to be able to do it, because I know quite a few people that just do it for a living, and I'm like, yeah, I'd like to do that. I'd like to try that. But Hoomps would pay for me to paint. I guess I could just set up a Fiverr shop and just be like, yo, commission me. Okay, so what have we learned, chat? I don't think this guy is I don't think he looks as purple as he on the camera as he does in my eyes. I think to counter that, we'll wash this guy in purple oil. Yeah. I do like him though. I do really like this miniature. I think he's got the right aesthetic. He's got the right aesthetic for Emperor's Children. I might need to use more Stormcast bits when I'm kit bashing, because I genuinely think the Stormcast, like, I picked up a random box of Stormcast like a year ago just for kit bashing, because I wanted to give I wanted to make the new Stormcast, the new Custodes guy. Like shield captain. I wanted to make him look a bit taller. The burgundy is coming off as brown to you. You know, that's fair. I kind of get that, honestly. Yeah. Oh, that's the wrong thing. Ah. This is the camera that needs to move. But yeah, I definitely think that these two, I think, are definitely my favorites. This one is definitely my favorite. This one, I think, gets the closest to the look that we were going for. That old 2002 kind of era fantasy battle kind of guy. Anyway, now that we've done all that, I can quickly... So now that you've had a miniature soak in isopropylene, or isopropyl alcohol, what we do, we just get a little toothbrush and we squidge it down. We just do a little brush. And you'll see it all just starts to just come right off. And you'll get straight down to bare plastic in no time. No time at all. Oh no, I just felt something move. I don't know what it was though. There shouldn't be anything moving. It's like put together with plastic cement. It's actually a fair bit quicker if I just scrub it off in the in the tub. But this works. I just kind of wanted to show it. As you can see, all the paint is coming off, and you can see the plastic, the grey plastic underneath coming through now. It's very thick because, like, generally I kind of bathe the miniature while I do that usually, just because then it scrubs off into the water instead of just being loose and on the miniature itself. But a little dip and a little scrub in the isopropylene. The real question is, chat, we've got like an hour-ish left of stream. What should we do next? Shall we keep doing color tests? But I've kind of settled on which color I want, so... And I don't really have any other purples or pinks. I could maybe try blue and then like tint it up, but I don't think that's really gonna work. I could try going over some of the others, some of the more darker ones. But yeah, see? He's basically just ready to be reprimed. Brush the bean. You have Custodes. I've not painted any of my Custodes. I keep like I tried to do this whole Chrome Custodes thing, and I realized that painting over chrome paint is awful. Its brain is too smooth, and all the paint just slides right off. So I don't paint with chrome, and since I've painted them in chrome, I haven't stripped them because I've been a little forgetful little bean. So one thing I'm curious about is how this guy is gonna look in this scheme, because there's a lot going on this model. Like, I feel like that's really obvious. It's not as like, say, super edgy as these Chaos Space Marines, but there's still a lot going on this model. Oh, I'm not done. Oh, are you heading off? Okay, Truck, thank you so much for hanging out. I'm glad you had a nice time with us. I will see you later, okay? I think... That's what some of this champion squad sergeant's bits are from. You can see like bits of Custodes. Like the Tassets are from the Custodes, the Shields, the Pauldrons are from the Custodes. He's got a Phoenix Power Sphere. But that's because I wanted him to have... I wanted to equip him with... dual cursed weapons, they're called in 40k. They're basically lightning claws. But I thought, you know what? We'll give him a power sword and then a Phoenix Power Sphere, and it'll look really cool. I think it looks cool. You have to sleep. That's okay. No, it's okay. Go to sleep, Truck. I don't need... it's okay. You have a life, and there are more important things than a little VTuber like me. Go rest and take care of yourself. It's important. Oh, but yeah. I hope you have a wonderful sleep. Thank you so much for choosing to spend some time with us today. I appreciate you, Truck. Okay, I think we're going to start with this guy. This little guy here. Oh god, the white contrasts so hard on this, like, extra black that we've got going on. So I'm very curious to see how it's going to look with this. Because I think this paint, it just is going to help. It's going to help the contrast really well. So I might once again try and get my airbrush to work a later date. Maybe off stream I'll just try and prime everything, like, and then like prep it with the Maso black. Okay. But this really brings out all of the little details, and I'm a big fan of just going this pure dead white onto a really dark black. I just think it just creates all the contrast. It just creates so much contrast in just purely like the super edges that we're trying to do here. Okay. Okay, that's all starting to look the part, I think. I really hope that shows through. I think it's just pure, just goes really sharply from black to white and vice versa in places here. I like that. I like that a lot. The contrast is nuts now. Yeah, it really is. Like the Maso black really just works wonders as that base underlayer. But also I think it's because there's just a lot of texture on this particular one. Because like the Sergeant model has a lot more off these a lot more bits on him. Like you can see it in the knee pads and the armor. But yeah, it's all just there's just so much. I'm a really big fan. Really big fan of how this is turning out. So I'm gonna do this Terminator, and then I might do the armor on the other Terminator. Maybe. I don't know, chat. What do you all want to do? How much do you all want to do? Oh god, that's a lot of magenta. Ah, I squeezed out too much paint. I didn't realize. The dropper. So we are going back to Doomfire, to pure magenta for this test. I don't want too much on the brush. I don't want too much on the brush, immediately uses too much from the brush. That's okay, we're just gonna do this whole bit, and then I'm going to sponge some excess off with a makeup sponge. Never underestimate the power of makeup cosmetics for painting Warhammer, chat. It just does a lot. It's so useful. Like, you can use this to do volumetric shading. Because of how rounded and absorbent these are. So you can just, like, dial back bits where you need to. And it just works, you know? I also think this is going to be good for keeping it from getting a bit too pinkish with the magenta. I think this is the right mix of everything. But you know what, chat? I feel like if you don't have, if you're a painter, if you paint minis and you don't have a couple of makeup supply, like a couple bits of makeup supplies, like for application, then you're doing it wrong, because they're all transferable skills. They're all the same. They're all literally the same techniques, like blending, contrast, highlight. It's all the same skill set. So you should just get a bit of makeup material, you know, just some makeup brushes and some sponges. They work wonders. Honestly. Just order it online. EC before EC releases. Yes. Always. Best Legion. Best Legion. I think these guys are okay. I think this guy, I think, is the worst looking of this batch of purple tests. But I think genuinely the pure magenta is the way to go, honestly. And by sponging off some of the excess, it actually looks a lot more purple and a little bit more, I don't know. I quite like it though. Like, I don't think it looks quite as intense as the first guy we did, but I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I just think it feels a bit more controlled. I put way too much fucking ink in this little palette bit. Don't know if you can tell the Custodes shoulder pads here. But really, I really like what I never really used pure inks this way. Usually I've used inks to like tint stuff through the airbrush, but I've never like just used ink to be the main color. And I think it's honestly the right way to go when trying to get this kind of like edge colory look. I think it just pops the most. and it behaves in the way I want it to behave. And if I get too much on, I can just dab it off with no issues. I'm not sure if I want to do the shade in purple or blue with this when we get to that part. But we'll cross that bridge later, I guess. You know, fuck, I'm just going to do this Aquila wing in purple because it doesn't matter if it gets messy. I'm going to cover it up with gold later anyway. I don't know how much gold I'm going to actually do on these guys, if I want to be honest with you, chat. I don't know that I'm going to do a lot. I probably won't do a lot, honestly. I think for me, trying to get the right general baseline color is the goal at this point. God, I can't wait to get my hands on the Champions of Slaanesh box. It's going to be so good. We're going to have so much fun painting that. Probably use these for the Tormentors and the other guys. I need to figure out how I want to build them, though. I hope I get to have a look at the like, this is probably, I'm going to spend like a day going through the codex, also making lore videos from the codex, because there's never been an Emperor's Children's Codex before, so people are going to be all over that shit wanting to find out what's inside. Especially because I'll get like the special pre-release copy of it. It'll be really nice. I can't wait. I can't wait. If things go through, I might be able to get an extra one to maybe give away. Maybe. I hope things work out. That'd be really sweet. Makeup brushes are some of your favorite dry brushes. I agree. I agree. Makeup brushes, like makeup, especially blending brushes, because they're designed for blending, so you get a nice, like, smooth, soft, like, almost airbrush kind of quality out of them. Like, if you use them right. I do think I want to add some gold to this guy. Okay. So we are very much settled on the pure magenta being the main kind of color. I think I need to go over this leg again. Just stain it a little bit more. Another great thing about having a makeup sponge at the ready is that you can always, it's really good at peeling off excess without it kind of being a problem or looking odd. But yeah, what do we think, chat? So these three are all the same color. Do we prefer the sergeant guy or do we prefer the others? I kind of don't know. I feel like I like the intensity of this guy on the right here. Like, he feels way more intense. Hang on, let me adjust my camera while I'm not using this other camera. Put you down on the level with them. They look kind of reddish. So I probably... And it's not red. It's very clearly like a purpley, pinky, magenta kind of color. Right is your fave. Yeah, I think honestly the right might be my fave as well. I think he's just got that extra saturation, which I think is what happened because I didn't peel back too much of the color. I feel like also the back of the sergeant doesn't look too different from the one on the right. And I think that this, the way it is because of the Maso black. I think it's just absorbing a lot of the color pigment. So we're gonna have to like amp that up with some extra layers just to make it a bit more intense. But that's okay. We're just gonna carefully just go over some extra bits just to increase the saturation. And we'll once again peel it away because I don't want it to go too overboard. But already, like, that's the great thing about this pigment, is it's so strong. Like, it doesn't take much for it to have a nice effect. But yeah, I think the Maso Black has really had an impact and has darkened that. Will the trim be gold? I'm thinking so. I'm thinking I might do a little bit of trim. Like, fortunately, these Tartaros ones don't have that much trim to do. Like, they've got their knee bits, a little bit on the torso, and then, like, these shouldery bits. But I think that's a thing for next week. Yeah. But we're not finished yet. I'm going to do one more guy in this, And it's going to be the Tartaros. Oh, yeah, I guess I could do this guy as well. I could do this guy. You want to do both of them or just one? But they're both going to be done in the same colors. What do you think, chat? Which one should we do? Let's try and replicate this right one as much as we can, is the plan. The Masoa really gives it an unpolished metal feeling. It's because it's so dark. Like, Masoa Black really just absorbs light, and it is the most light absorbent black commercially produced in So we're gonna go over these two with dry brushing. Nice and simple. I've actually run out of... Ah, no, I dropped a brush. Off stream, I'm gonna have to fix my goddamn airbrush at some point. I'm not looking forward to that. Okay, let's start with the Terminator. I wonder just what Emperor's Children characters will be like. I'm not doing all of this trim, by the way. I am picking out this trim, and this trim is going to be fucking pink as fuck. Cause like, I seebs. I seebs with doing all of these intricate little details. I mean, yes, very nice for you, Emperor's Children guy. But like, are you the one that has to paint this shit? Nah, that's me. That's me, and I seebs. I don't want to do it. You can't make me. Wow. Also, there's so much of it. So I'm trying to just catch it all as much as I can with the dry brush, so that it comes up and it'll be a nice pink contrast to the black. Is my hope, at least. Hey, Andy. It's good. And you like it because it has the vibe of a knight in shining armor, is one that's never had his metal tested. Yeah. I'm excited to get the Lord Cacophonist. I think the Lord Cacophonist is a great model. I think Lucius is a big improvement, but I don't think the bar was very high for Lucius. The best model, hands down, is the Lord Exultant, though. In my humble opinion. So I think all they've done is they've taken the Legion Praetor in Mark 6, the one that's like here, and they've made him a 40K version of it. Like that's what he looks like to me, you know? No craziness, no No gimmicks, just, hey, we made a good model for Horus Heresy. Let's copy that, lol. And the Horus Heresy team is being like, bruh, you copied my homework. How could you? And then the plastic team is just like, lol, get wrecked. Okay. I need to do this on. I love dry brushing. It just feels like such a nice way of getting things to look nice without having to do a lot of... it's a very nice, low-risk way of getting things to look good, I think. It just captures everything just the way you want it. Most of the time, at least. If it doesn't, it's usually because you've got too much paint on your brush, I think. Well, that's my opinion, at least. Then again, I don't claim to be very knowledgeable at anything. I just kind of do stuff, and it works out, usually. Compared to the people that actually study this shit, and I'm just like, bruh. I'm just a little guy. Just a little guy painting my stuff. I really like this model, though. It's so good. Something about painting really just locks in my ADHD, and the only thing that keeps me from going on for hours is your back getting sore from sitting in the dining room chair for too long. Understandable, Tex. Understandable. I really like this model. Oh, fuck! Oh, fuck, oh, fuck, oh, fuck. What did I do? Oh, God. Oh, no! Hi!
Zonan Prime just raided with 1 viewers.
Thank you so much for the raid. Oh my god, I goofed. I put my paintbrush in the wrong paint. Hi. Hi, welcome raiders. I'm Tiger. We're working on some Warhammer. I love Warhammer. We do hobby streams and all kinds of stuff, and we try and have a nice comfy time here. I hope you can have a comfy time with us. I like to shitpost online, so follow me on socials if you like silly memes. I run multiple meme pages on Facebook, so you may already follow me without realizing that you follow me, lol. Which is always fun, when people be like, oh, I got sent here by some random fucking meme page, and I'm like, yes, that was me. That was me, in fact. I am your meme dealer. Well, that's got a very slight purple-pink tint to it, so, I guess we'll just see what happens here, honestly. What could possibly go wrong? Now, I'm probably going to go over this with gold later. I'll be honest. Probably going to go over it with gold later, but... I kind of want to see... I'm probably going to go over this with gold later, but I kind of want to see what this looks like in magenta. I bet it's going to look really nice. But yes, welcome. Lovely to see you too, Zonan. Playing Arkham City. I've never played Arkham City. The only Batman game that I've played in recent history was Gotham Knights, and before that I played Arkham Knight. Like, that's the only title in that series that I've played, Arkham Knight. Really liked Arkham Knight though. It was a good time. Of course, I was a bit disappointed that Arkham Knight just turned out to be the Red Hood. Like, I thought Arkham Knight was like something specific that they'd made just for the game. and was like its own unique thing, and then it just turned out to be Jason Todd, and I'm just like, bruh. Why? Going to once again try and sponge off some of the excess. Of which there is much. Fuck it, I'm just going to do everything in all of the armor. It gets magented, and if it doesn't like it, then we'll just paint it gold later, and it'll be fine. So I'm probably going to be painting Emperor's Children a lot for the next couple of weeks, I reckon. Mostly just because I like Emperor's Children. And also, I'm super excited for their army. And also, I want to get some stuff ready for tabletop for the minute they launch. I say this like I'm going to be able to play games. My new schedule actually makes it so that my only games I can go to are tournaments. Which is meh. Because that means I have to get a 2,000 point army. And while I do have a lot of models, I don't think I ever have built a focused 2,000 point army yet. And I have to play competitively, which means I have to try and figure out how to be really good at the game. When I'm just a silly little guy that sometimes gets lucky with dice rolls and rolls a ton of 5s and 6s, and it's great. Isn't it great when you roll a ton of 5s and 6s and then your opponent can't do anything about it because it's just lucky? But then again, it's either 1s and 2s or 5s and 6s. Never 3s or 4s. Always in between, one way or the other. It's really annoying. Always one or the other. Get this all magented up. I can't remember how I really did it the first time, honestly. I wonder if I just washed it, gave it a full wash, and then just, like, or if I did something different. Because I can't remember. Bit of me wonders if maybe I should just go back and have a look at how I did it. But you know what? That's for smart people, and I'm not smart. Well, understandable. You expect a new element added to Batman lore, but then it turns out to be an extreme version of an already extreme character. Yeah. You have to go prime your Void Dragon. Hell yeah, Andy. Andy, did you get the Christmas box set for the Necrons? I did. I haven't built it yet. But I am, I was having a look at expanding my Necron army, honestly. Because I know they're going to be really quick to paint. It's just going to be like all of the dry brushing and all of the spray and all of the dip washing. And I was trying to look at how to expand it to a 2,000 point army. I'm like, Necrons are fucking expensive, like, to collect. Like, they ain't cheap. All their stuff doesn't cost many points for how much you pay for it. And I'm just like, bruh, I thought this was going to be like an elite army of like robots and like fucking tyrants with like bullshit, like crazy damage combos and whatnot that was going to be priced appropriately. Then I look at the point values and I'm just like, this shit is way cheaper than it should be. And while that's probably great, actually no, they did just get nerfed into the ground a little bit ago. So there is that. That is that. Aside from Star Shatter Arsenal, which got promptly nerfed like a week after it came out. Okay, I'm gonna get a bit of the excess off. Just dab, a dab, a dab. I don't know how it was that oh, I think I know what it was. Yeah. I've not quite figured out how to get back to that first version of this. But you know, that's okay. I kind of like just this overall color. And I like that no two versions of this are gonna be the same, really. I think that's a good time. Like, the contrast on the Sergeant is pushed way more. And I think this is like a happy medium between the two. I'm gonna have to go back and watch this video to remember how I did this one, because this is what I want. No, I think it might have actually just been more in the dry brushing phase. But I think for busier models, it's harder to like be more restrictive. I don't know. We'll try one more time, chat. We'll try one more time. One more time. I think it's going to be all in trying to dry brush just the edges as much as possible. And also to try and mostly paint into the edges with the ink. Wow, Alex, hi. Hi. How you doing? You think there's something wrong with your head? What makes you say that? Is it serious? Are you okay? Do you need to talk to a doctor? Because I will always advocate for talking to a doctor first, if it might be serious. Wow. Whenever I think your GF is going to break up with me, my brain is filled with enough depression. You're not properly meant. But Alex, are they going to break up with you, or are you just being anxious? Anxiety is normal. It's a human trait, so don't feel bad. Okay? Don't feel bad for being anxious and having that fear. But remember, it can be irrational. And I know it's hard to think rationally about things that involve emotions. But you have to do your best, okay? Do not let the intrusive thoughts win. It's not that I'm actually breaking up, but it feels horrible. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. When you have that kind of anxiety, is it down to you not feeling good about yourself, Alex? Because you're a lovely person, okay? And usually things like that come from feelings of inadequacy, where you don't feel like you're good enough, but you are good enough. You're a lovely person. I have nothing but kind things to say about you. It's always a delight to see you in chat. So don't you dare put yourself down. You're a good bean, whether you believe it or not. Okay? Okay, I think I know what I'm gonna do. I know what I need to do. I think I'm gonna do something different for this one. I think I know exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do something I've not done for any of the others. I'm gonna push something a little bit more. God, I love that. I love this back leg panel. I'm really a big fan of that. I just the way the edges are nicely highlighted, but the core is still black. It just looks really nice to me, you know? It's exactly the kind of look I was going for this. But one thing I'm gonna do at the end of this, I'm gonna wash down. I'm gonna use a black contrast paint and just put that in all the recesses, just to really get it darker, nice and dark. but just the recesses. It's not going to be like we're going to be washing the whole thing. It's just going to be a recessed shade with contrast. I think that'll be nice. One thing I also quite like about this model is that he's wearing gloves over his gauntlets. So I'm just like, bruh. Bruh, you have Karamite gauntlets and you're wearing gloves over them just to be stylish, lol. Like, you can say what you want about the Emperor's Children. They know how to be styling. Do I wanna do his fancy cloak as well? I should probably do his fancy cloak. He's got such a fancy cloak. Like, so fancy, chat. Look at it. Look at it. Look at this cloak. It's so fancy. Time to do a quick prime. Understandable. But yeah. Don't fret, Alex. You're a good person. Remember that. Okay. Do I actually want to do this? Yeah. Fuck it. Fuck it. I'm already here. I might as well. But I love this Imperial Aquila inlay in the cloak. It just looks so good. I'm not even going to paint this cloak properly today either. I'm just doing it because, I mean, I'm here dry brushing. I might as well just get it a little bit done. I don't actually know what color I'm going to make the cloak, honestly, when it comes down to like actually finishing the model. That's a problem for future, Tiger. Just like the rest of my life, lol. Probably always had a self-esteem issue. Gonna play Spearhead for the first time this week. Ooh! I'm painting up my first Spearhead this week. Off stream. I just need to do the wings on and glowy bits. Because I was going to do everything in blue. But my airbrush has been playing up when I've tried to use my fluorescent blue for some reason. Only the fluorescent blue. Everything else has been fine until I start to do Masoa black. Then it's been less fine. But I'm going to be using the Stormcast from Scaventide, which are very cool. I like the Stormcast. I also got Taunus the Redeemed, but the Redeemed or the Redeemer? I don't know. The fancy cool guy with the lantern and the wings. Very cool model. Very cool model. But I'm just doing, I don't know anything about Age of Sigmar, so I was just like, let's have some fun with this. So I was just doing a bunch of airbrush practice and doing them all in neons. So like, they'll just glow. They're all in like the fluorescent neon colors and they're just gonna glow when I shine a black light on them. So I wanted them to be like, oh yeah, coming in as beings of light onto the battlefield. Cause like, that's what they are, right? They're made out of lightning and thunder and lightning. And that looks really cool. I should probably have used the big dry brush. I'll go over this later, though. I'll go over this later when I can do it in a way where it's going to be more smooth. The important thing is I did this bit. Okay, now, before we do anything else, for this guy, what I want to do is to do some recess shading. I want to really push the contrast back again. So we're going to be using contrast Black Legion, I think? Or Black Templar, whichever one's closest. I have both of these paints right here, lol. So I don't have to care. Just the idea is that I really want to push the, I didn't really... The Skaven gives you more models than Spearheads. I don't know how to paint the Griffin guy. I mean, Griffhounds are meant to be like this orangey brown. So I did my Griffin guy in I did my Griffin guy in just orange and red and yellow. Actually, you know what? I'll just quickly go. I'll show you what I've done. He's just a very funky little guy, honestly. I think he looks okay. So my plan... I'll fix my phone. So my plan is to do... I'll do a stretch. Oh god, I heard something crack. Oh. I'm old, chat. I'm old. The age of 30 is apparently in demand. I don't want it. Someone else can have my age, lol. So that's how I'm doing them. Like, and I don't know if it'll show up. But hang on, if I turn off all the lights. Where's my black light? There it is. When I turn off all the lights in the space. Turn off all the lights. They should look really cool. Unfortunately, you don't see all the color, but you're getting there's a bunch of like neon like it just looks cool. Yeah, it glows in the dark. It glows in the dark. I mean, when I have the light not shining directly on it, you can kind of see it glows in the same colors that, like, it does normally. Also, I use Stuart Semple's lit paint. So when I shine the black light on the stuff I've done the lit paint on, it keeps some glow. Like, look, if I shine it especially on this and then take it away, it's glow in the dark. How cool is that? It's the same with the pigments as well. Like, say these, I don't know if you can see them, but these are powder pigments that are glow. And if I shine the light on them, and they, alright. I shine the light on them, and I take it away, they glow. How cool is that, chat? How cool is that? Very cool gimmicky paints, but like... That's why I like them. Like this one does UV. Takes a while to charge up though. But yeah, actual glowing paint. Not just UV, even though there's a lot of UV here. This is the same pigment I used for the axe. And I want to try and have it be a bit more blue. That's Nurgle sick. Lol. That's amazing. That's an amazing one. I love that. Yeah. You can still see it glowing. You can still, like, the minute I come in the shadow, you can still see it glowing. It's so cool. But yeah, very cool toys to play with when it comes to painting. Anyway, where were we? Oh yeah, I was gonna... quickly do something. So first of all, I'm going to go and recess shade. Just going to carefully recess shade these two bits. By the way, that's how that's going to look later. When this guy is actually finished. But we're not there yet. God, I love this guy. I love this model. It just looks so cool, chat. To me, at least, I think it's one of the coolest models Games Workshop has ever made. But yeah, anyway. We are going to recess shade this with some contrast Black Legion. So I could use oil as well. That's also another option. Because these are generally the best kinds of things for recess shading. So we're just going to go ahead and get into all of the little recesses. Just a little bit. Don't know why I'm doing that off stream. I won't do any on the cloak because I don't need to do any on the cloak for now. It's mostly just a couple of bits here and there. It's part of the problem with having the more detailed models is that there's a lot to go over. Hi, Haru. What's that? She's patting me on the side. I think she wants attention. Haru, I will give you attention soon. Just give me a minute. So this is just going to push the contrast a little bit more. To really just like try and get back to where we were before. Gonna... I don't know why I'm doing it this way. But that's okay. And, you know, we're going to afford this guy a little bit more time because we know we're probably going to put him on the tabletop at some point. Whether in 40k or in Horus Heresy. Probably in 40k before I play Horus Heresy, honestly. Like, I have a Horus Heresy army, but I've never once played a game because, like, there's just no scene for it where I am. It's really annoying. Like, and it's weird because people say that, yeah, we love Horus Heresy, we love the models, but no one plays it. I'm just like, bruh. Everyone has a Horus Heresy army. Why don't you just fucking organize? And I suppose I should just organize people. But I don't have money to organize a tournament or a gathering or a venue or all that shit. You know? One day I will figure out some kind of way to play Horus Heresy, chat. It may not be today, or even this year, but someday I will play Horus Heresy. Because I have a really cool Dark Angels army for Horus Heresy, with a lot of cool kitbashes, honestly. A lot of the minis I'm actually really proud I threw together, with like bits and pieces. Okay. Let's try a little bit more shading. I'm just going in. Haru, why do you scream, little cat? Why do you scream at me? I'm right here. I've just realized I'm putting things in the way of each other. Ah. Nice. Well, no, I'll organize. Don't you know, chat? I am Horus Heresy. I will become the Warhammer 40,000. I will collect all 40,000 hammers. No one will stop me. I'll usher an era of greatness into the galaxy. Or the galaxy shall burn. Okay. Now that that's done, we'll try a very second, super gentle, very, very ultra careful dry brush. Like, as light as I can go. I'm really just trying to push the contrast a little bit. There are a lot of intricate little details on this, and I kind of want them to be the thing. I kind of want kind of want to do the Emperor's Children simplistically, because they have a lot of detail, and I feel like if you just focus on having incredibly high contrast on the model, then the rest of it will do all those little details for you, without having to like actually do a ton of extra work to achieve them, you know? Trying to work smarter, not harder. And then now, Just give that a couple of seconds to dry, and then we'll pure magenta him. I'm gonna do my best to try and push the paint as much as I can without having to dip in. Which I think that's what I did the first time, to try and really spread it out to get that kind of look we got, where there wasn't too much of a build-up in any one area. I think it's working, chat. I think this is going to be the one. Okay, I'm starting to run out of paint, I feel like. Get a bit more paint off the brush as well. So you can, when we're working with ink, I think it's very easy to oversaturate an area because the pigment is so very strong. I really like pure magenta though. I just think it's a very nice color to work with. God, I'm loving this particular contrast here. I think I'm a very big fan of. Feels a little bit silly painting this shoulder pad area here because it's just going to get covered up by the giant fucking pauldron. But that's okay. Okay, let's do this bit. Okay. I don't know why I've done that. I really need to spread this out. So I'm going to switch back to spreading that out as much as I can. Just a little bit of ink on this power pack. And that's going to look really nice, I think. One thing I'm not sure about is how I want to highlight this, because I will need to highlight this. This isn't like a slap chop thing. This is just the basic tone. And I think I've got some paints to do that, but I think that's a next week kind of job. I might do some practice off stream as well on some of these other models. Yeah. Okay. I think I just need to sponge a little bit off. And then I just need to do a little bit in that other shoulder pad as well. Kato, what's up, little cat? Hi, Haru. Hi. You want to be a lap cat? Or do you just want attention? I think she wants me to go play with her. I'll play with her in a bit. I will play with her when I end the stream. Yeah. So, I need to do the shoulder pad. But overall, I think that's a pretty good. I think that's a pretty good color, honestly. Like, it's a little bit different because I think there's just a lot more detail on this model. I could always go over and recess shade stuff later. That does remain an option for us, which I might take. You know, I might take that just to get everything just nice and darkened again. And then the last thing we've got is to just get in here and tint this a little bit magenta. I think I know what I'm going to highlight these with. It's going to be a very nice soft pink. I think that would work as a highlight. Yeah, check me out. Getting back to traditional painting instead of just speed painting everything, chat. Imagine. Not if John Warhammer stops me, I will stop him. Nah, I'd win. John Warhammer cannot stop Horus Heresy becoming the Warhammer 40,000. That's just natural selection, right? Impossible. But yeah. I think that's a good basis to work from. Don't you think, chat? God, he is such a cool model. Like, is he not just like one of the coolest models GW has ever made? Look at that. Look at the swagger. The absolute swagger on that cloak, chat. It's so good. But yeah, I think that's us done for color testing. I'll probably test some more things out between streams. But next week we'll probably do some more. Tomorrow we are gonna play Alan Wake for the first time, so that should be fun. Yeah. As always, chat, thank you so much for choosing to come hang out. I have work tomorrow, which is a pain. Am I going to get spooked? Is it a horror game, chat? I don't know. I've never heard of Alan. I've never played Alan Wake. The name is familiar, but I don't know anything about the game. Oh my god. Oh my god, Pink has met Cappy. Alan asleep. I'm gonna raid into Pink because she's at a really fun bit of the game that she's in. As always, chat, thank you so much for being a wonderful community. I'll see you all tomorrow, okay? I love you all. I hope you have a wonderful day or night wherever you are in the world. Mwah. Mwah.